Hello friends, we are back. By we, I just mean me. We've got a large painting that I'm painting for a collective show, collaboration show. I think we're saying collaborative show in July. For those of you who don't know, I've been painting digitally for the last few years while I've been wrapping up the tarot card deck and kind of re-entering the acrylic painting canvas world. Earlier this year, I participated in a group show, Antipods, with Bain Art in Melbourne. I will pop up those two paintings here. Those were, I believe, the first acrylic paintings I've done for years. It wasn't too hard re-entering and going and doing acrylic painting again once going digital. It's more just getting used to the pace of it. It's a lot slower painting and acrylic painting. And also the end results, if we're comparing digital to real life mediums, it just has more of a presence. Like the colors really glow and it just, you know, looks amazing in person. So what I'm working on is a collaborative exhibition with two other artists, Izzy and Michelle. The exhibition is called Fenestra. Fenestra is a tiny opening in the bone. I believe it's an anatomical term for an opening in the bone. And fenêtre, the etymology of the word, is a French word for window. I'm taking the title and the theme as deeply intimate, small stories through the female gaze and through, not necessarily gaze, but through a female lens. All of us are going to be taking very intimate, very personal stories and presenting them to you through our art. And I don't know, I think it's just really exciting seeing it all come together. I'm excited to show you guys the show because what we've been working on and what we've been cooking up is really pushing our own creative practices. I didn't want to take on a exhibition by myself just yet. It's been almost 10 years since I've done my first solo show, and I just wanted to inch my way back in and do this collaborative show before I take the plunge into doing a solo exhibition next year. All three of us really wanted to push our own technical skills. I had a lot of other plans for these paintings, but I just wanted to really focus on, first and foremost, making the paintings really pop and just be as strong as they can before I really experimented with other mediums. Another thing I need to mention is a couple of months ago, I made the switch to only painting Asian women. I don't necessarily want my paintings to just be about female Asian identity, but it's kind of inescapable at the same time. I find that when I see Asian women in painting specifically, it's always through one, a male perspective, and two, a slightly more often than not fetishized perspective. And I don't necessarily want my paintings to just be about Asian identity. It's more that you're seeing women's stories and they just happen to be Asian. I don't think it's like the most important thing in the world to see us in all the different media and images. I just want it to be the standard. I really hate this conversation talking about it like it's the most important thing in the world and like we're saving lives. We should all be taking these little steps to make it the norm because it is the norm. So we're going to get into that, but I just want to quickly mention, and I'll talk about this a little bit further in the video, I've just released a ethereal bundle on my website. So we are doing a limited edition deck with a pouch and a pin. I am wearing the pin right now. I believe it looks really good on dark clothing. Now that I live in Melbourne, I've been transitioning to wearing a lot more darker clothes. So that's why I kind of wanted to do a lighter pin this time around, but I'll talk about those more later on. And for now, let's just go in. Let's just get into it, all right? Okay, so here's a painting that I am working on. Let me step back so you can kind of get the scale of it. This is the new studio. Been here for almost a year now. I am painting a bunch of big pieces for a, I guess it's kind of like a solo show. It's like 3 solo shows in one. So it's officially like a group show, but it's more like a collaboration show. It's called Fenestra. It's happening in July. I don't know if you're watching this in 2023 and you live in Melbourne, please come. You know, I've been really wanting to show the painting process, especially because for years I've been wanting to do, you know, big paintings for a really long time, so we're gonna do it. Alrighty, so here is the initial sketch of the band. That's what this painting is called. Keeping it simple, you know, it's about women playing instruments. It's just about seeing women, specifically Asian women, doing activities rather than just posing and being an object of desire. We are, you know, we're more than that, obviously. So I just wanted to really do a couple of paintings of women having fun. I feel like we need that. So here's some early iterations of the sketch. I did find it quite complicated trying to fit all the characters in there. Down the track, I would like to do pieces like this again, but with, you know, even more intense scenes. For right now, I just wanted to focus on 5 characters and really figure out the composition with them, figure out the perspective of it. I normally don't work in landscape pieces, so it was, you know, something kind of fresh and new for me to really experiment with. I really wanted to make sure also that all the women had their own different personalities, and that although they are all Asian, I didn't want them to feel like a K-pop band where, you know, no hate to K-pop, but I didn't want them to feel like copy and paste. I wanted them to still feel very diverse as Asian women. So much diversity within Asian people, so this was kind of just like we're all coming together, we're bringing the band back together, and together we can make incredible things. So that's what this piece is really about. All right, let's get into it. It is quite epic. So excited to see this painting at this scale. This might be the biggest painting I've probably worked on to date. Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, this is definitely the biggest painting I've worked on. Pretty exciting to see it, especially this girl over here. Really exciting to see just like how big she is. That being said, like, it is really hard still, I think, to work on the smaller parts like the hands and get them to be really accurate, but I don't know, we'll get to that when we get to that, you know? So I am just working on the background elements so far. Really have just been working on this bit here. If you guys have been watching on the channel for quite some time, you'll know that I work from the background to the foreground. So, you know, the early stages of a painting are kind of a bit laborious because you're really just filling paint and making sure to not have those like patchy areas. See all this patchiness in the background, and everything's kind of uneven. That's what I'm, you know, really trying to build up and make sure that everything's kind of flooded and the paint is really nice and thick. These bubbles over here are really like the final result. So that's what we're aiming for. Last week, I just wasn't feeling very good, so I didn't get as much progress as I wanted, but I still did paint, as you can see. This morning, well, pretty much all of today, I've just been really focusing on this quarter of the painting. I was able to get this tiny little cluster of crystals finished, and I'm really just trying to work on the back element so I can really focus on this girl. But I haven't shown you guys all that much progress on like time lapse and painting stuff just because I think it's a bit, we're in the early stages, so it's just like a little bit boring, where I'm just really prepping the canvas, and we also have so much more of the painting to go, so I kind of just want to do that off camera. What I'm focusing on for the rest of today is this little segment of the hair, and then this little segment here. So the back of the hair and then this crystal is kind of my aim for today. All right, I'm just going to jump in really quickly to talk to you guys about the Ethereal bundle. Very excited for it. We are releasing a limited edition tarot card deck. If you guys have been following for a while, I've got a tarot card deck. I've got a whole playlist. We are doing a second edition print of it, but in that second edition print, we have 50 pink foil tarot card decks. These are only going to be available with the Ethereal bundle, so you get them with the silver pouch and the very beautiful, sparkly Three of Swords pin. That is available now on my website if you want to go grab it. And if you've been, waiting around and pondering on whether or not you should get the deck, I think this is a pretty good opportunity to do so. Again, we only have 50 of the pins and only have 50 of the pink foiled decks. So, don't sleep on it. We're not going to restock those. Like, the 50 is it. Now, these are a pre-sale. I will have more of the information on the website with the dates of when the bundle will be shipping out. At the moment, it's on its way into Australia. I'm just waiting for it to come in. So it is a pre-sale just for a couple of weeks, and as soon as the decks come in, they will be right out to you guys. Some more details on the Ethereal bundle. Let's start off with the pin. The pin is our highly requested Three of Swords pin. We sold out of this in the Kickstarter, and we've been meaning to get it back in, so now we have it in a new colorway. It's a pastel ethereal colorway, so it has the oil slick, soft enamel metal. As you can see, it's got like this rainbow hue in the metal, which I've been wanting to make a pin with this material for so long, and I feel like this one pops off. And the glitter that is featured in it has a tinge of green, so it's just got a really cool galaxy, ethereal, fairy vibe to it. And yeah, I'm obsessed. As I said earlier in the intro, I think it looks really good on dark clothing. So if you wear a lot of dark clothing, I'm just saying, I think this one pops off. And here it is comparing the original colorway to our new ethereal colorway. All right, moving on to the pouch. The pouch is, as you can see from this comparison, a lot bigger compared to the original pouch from the Kickstarter. We did sell out of these pouches a very long time ago, and they have been requested as well. So we've got them back in, we've scaled them up, and I've made them a lighter color to go with the pin. Now it has a silver drawstring and then a silver print on it as well, and I just feel like it suits the deck so much more than the original. The original one was like a little bit harsh and obviously way too small, and yeah, we've fixed that. I feel like this is a much better version of the pouch, so if you already have the deck, the pouch is available now on our website. And lastly, we have the Ethereal limited edition pink foil tarot deck. So we've swapped out the silver for pink foiling, and there will only be 50 of these available. If you are interested in that, that is available on my website right now. Hello everybody, new day, wet hair. What are we up to? Okay, I'll show you really quick. Okay, so I filled in this purple girl. I think she's playing the guitar. And then over here we've got the banjo girl. She's looking decent, getting there. We are at a stage where we are painting faces. So I'm gonna go head off and print out all the different zooms of the portraits of all the women and my original sketch as well, and also the original reference pictures too. Normally I have all of that, all the reference pictures on my iPad. At the moment I don't have a decent stand that attaches to the easel, and I really want all the images close together so I can like really compare the two when I'm painting. Printing this out is just like so much cheaper than just buying a new stand. You feel me? It's a new day, and I am focusing on this little corner here. I've laid the foundation for this face over here. I'm quite liking how dark the contrast is with her face at the moment. However, that doesn't quite make sense with the lighting. The direction of the lighting is coming from here, so I kind of need this area here to be a little bit brighter than this area over here. I don't know how achievable that is, but I'm going to try my best. What I'm going to focus on right now is these pink bubble areas. I just want to lighten them up a little bit. Once those are done, then I can really start to focus on this girl over here. So let's do it. To pop in and maybe chat a little bit about this painting. I think I've been working on this painting for, if I'm starting from the conception of the sketch to now, it's probably been like 6 weeks. Oof, I've really blown out the timeline, but I'm trying not to like really beat myself up about that and be upset about that. It's currently the 10th of March. I think originally I wanted to have this painting done by February, but I don't know, I haven't worked on a painting at this scale for a really long time. I haven't worked on a painting at this scale ever, actually. This scale and this complicated with this many characters and elements, I've never really done a painting like this before. So I guess like it was a little hard for me to estimate a timeline for everything, but you know, if I finish this painting at the end of March, I'll still be on track for this exhibition. I'm pretty happy working on the guitar lady right now. I really love the face. It's got a really cool like metallic sheen to her. I haven't really explained. A couple of months ago, I made the decision to only paint Asian women or only draw Asian women going forward. I think like really honing down on Asian identity is going to help me figure out my own Asian identity, as well as maybe try and be a little bit more caring to other Asian identities and other Asian women. Maybe, you know, even reflecting on my own prejudices that have been taught to me. Living in Australia, constantly unlearning a lot of things that have been taught to me growing up in Australia. I think a few people in the UK and the US will understand this. I don't think anybody watching in Asia will understand it as much, or even in Europe, other parts of Europe. Growing up in Australia and being Asian, you're kind of just told that racism doesn't exist. I was told and taught that my whole life. I don't know, Australians are very good at being passive-aggressively racist, politely racist. I think the veil, every time I go to America, Americans aren't as polite about their racism. I've never, you know, the racism that I've experienced in Australia is really, like I said, it's just like under the surface. Like you don't notice it in the moment. Two examples that kind of come to mind right now. When I was like, I don't know, I went to like a store and I was trying to buy, I think I was just trying to buy just a regular moisturizer with some sunscreen in it. And I asked the attendant there, or I asked the person who was working in the store to point me in the right direction. And she instantly asked if I wanted a product that had bleaching in it. I didn't mention it at all. I just said, where's the moisturizer? I wasn't offended in the moment, but I had to, like, my friend who was shopping with me in the moment was like, are you okay? That was really weird. And that's what I mean, where it's like, I don't even recognize it in the moment. Like, I recognize it as being strange. I don't know. Over the years, I've had lots of examples of people who have been complaining and really like lightly nudging that I need more diversity in my artwork, and I totally agree. Not necessarily in terms of races, but a big complaint was the lack of diversity in body shapes, and I'm completely self-aware of that as well. The only reason why I've only like ever painted slim bodied women is because I use photo references, and the vast majority of photo references have, you know, the ideal body type of women. You know, hunting down other bodies and hunting down other references from a wide collection is a lot more work, but you know, it just means that it's a bit more meaningful, and I think the effort needs to be put into that element. I've always painted alien women because I didn't want to recognize race at all in my paintings. I just wanted to do like green colored skin, so it would just not be an issue in any way, or not be something that was mentioned. Anytime Asian women are specifically in art, it's always through a sexualized, fetished lens. I don't know, we're done. We're done. It's time for lots of other women to show our experiences and show what the world looks like through our lens. This is, I have no like big grandiose statements. I'm just telling you, like, these are some steps I'm taking so I can like understand it a little bit more, like the importance of having Asian women in paintings. I have another rant about this, but I think that'll do for now. Alrighty, it's maybe an hour or two after having my little rant. Side note, before I update you on like my thoughts on painting, I have a lot more thoughts about the discussion prior. It's just that I feel like I have to collect my thoughts a little bit more to present them to you guys. Just bear that in mind. We will continue this discussion later on. But in the meantime, blue bubble antenna things coming out of this head. One, man, I just really love the movement in these. I think it adds like adds some energy, gives her a vibe that, you know, she's rocking, and she's really cool, like effortlessly cool with her weird antenna blobs. I'm really loving the way that this one turned out. My goal for today was like really get like all of the jewelry and all the clothing done, and then like have a really good move on the guitar mushroom's hand. I'm like starting to get really bored. One of my biggest challenges with painting is like, you know, you're sitting down for hours. Like I do get really bored and procrastinate. By procrastinate, I just do like desk work instead. I don't know. It's a lot. I'm gonna change plans for the rest of the day. I think what I'm gonna do is start filling in the rest of this stuff just with the first rough base layer. I'm just feeling like I need some bigger wins to keep me going, you know? So I'm gonna have a little break, I'm gonna eat some lunch, and then I'm gonna start to fill in all the blank stuff. So then, yeah, anyway, whatever, I'm repeating myself. You know, I at the end of like, it's Friday, and I want to just see like a bit more progress, because I'm starting to just get a bit like frustrated, and it's really getting to the nitty gritty tedious stuff. So yeah, I want to start filling it in with just like I call them washes. So like the example here on the face, I think I just need to do that. I need to do some like bigger brush strokes, because this is getting annoying. Hello everybody! Been a hot minute since I've checked in. I wanted to do a bunch of stuff off camera because, well, I just want to speed up the process because this painting is taking forever. I mean, it's looking incredibly fast and juicy, and I'm quite excited for all the progress. That being said, I wanted to have this painting finished this week. I don't think that'll be achievable, but I'm going to try my absolute hardest. This week I definitely want this little quarter done, and then I want the horn girl to have a lot more of her bits filled in. So let's focus on this chick up here. You know, I've tried to finish pretty much everything on her. She's the first girl to be completely complete. Completely complete. I've only just finished this girl yesterday. I finished her hand, and then I also finished this blobby segment here yesterday. And today I'm really focusing on the keyboard lady. I mean, I've made some really good progress on her. On Monday I finished the keyboard, which I'm really happy with, and then also the crystals as well. So, you know, right now I'm just like flooding the canvas as much as possible and trying to get the paint as thick as possible onto the canvas. That's really like, I would say the majority of what I'm doing is just making sure that I have a really good even fill on the painting. So let me come in closer so I can show you what I mean. Very difficult to tell, but see how there's like a patchiness and you can kind of see the raw canvas underneath. Really what I'm trying to do with today and for the majority of the time is just filling those gaps and making sure that all the paint is on there and is layered on there incredibly heavily, because that gappiness, I don't know, it just drives me crazy. So that's really what I've been trying to do today. I find that the darker colors, so like the greens and then the blues, they fill up and cover the canvas so much better than anything with like cadmium in it. So cadmium makes like all the oranges, the browns, a bit of the pinks, and as you know, that's like the majority of the painting. So that particular paint is just, it's a lot thinner compared to the Tarlo colors. Another thing you guys might have noticed is I am starting to paint with black. I'm mixing black in with my paints. Normally I really stay completely away from black, but I mean, my goal for this painting was to make it hue-wise, as in H-U-E. I wanted everything to be shaded down, so it was more like a jewel tone rather than pastels. And I think that's kind of succeeding. I mean, to me it feels like a new direction, but it kind of isn't. It still kind of looks exactly like all my other paintings, but still happy with it. Everyone, this is the week. This is the week we're gonna finish this damn painting. God damn it. I'm mentally prepared to just move on, so let's do it. Okay, everybody, we are up to the reveal. Before we do, remember to subscribe and like, and if you want to see more of these paintings, there's more coming. I'm working on a body of work of just 3 paintings and then a couple of like little pieces that I'll get into later on, but there's a lot more actual like, physical art happening. So if that is something that you are interested, make sure you subscribe because there's more. And don't forget to get your ethereal bundle. I have a whole playlist describing and explaining the tarot card project if you are new here. And that tarot deck is now available along with the pouch and the enamel pin. So we only have 50 of those, remember. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Let's look at this painting.